Hi, this is Tails. We're gonna do behind the scenes. New thing on my channel. Basically, we're gonna just be talking about the episode and stuff like that. If I have to say about the episode, is that it could have been longer. That's the first thing I have to say about it. It definitely was interesting to do, as it's the first time I wrote a script for my episodes. Other times I just went with it. I did a summary, then a script, and then filmed and had voice acting. So that's why it took so long. I also drew backgrounds. So basically just spent a lot of my time. But the thing mainly was supposed to be experimental, just play around with stuff, so I'm not surprised. Now let's talk about what happened in the episode. So basically, it was decided for me that I wanted to just have a short, intro scene so you can know who are our main characters. So we have She-Wolf and Rogue. Basically, this whole thing started because I wanted to focus on the wolves as a way to get myself better into the writing of Walls That Holds Us In, because I want to rewrite that after I went back and looked at the episodes. They are not what I want to be making for this channel anymore. Well, the old version. I will be redoing it after I finish Siblings. Siblings just is my way to have fun and experiment with what I want to produce on this channel. So we get to have She-Wolf and Rogue story. It's been really fun to think about it, of how the pack came to be and everything, because I had no idea ever of how it came to be, so it's fun. I also even have a notebook I've been writing about character notes, so I've been really taking my time. I really hope you guys will enjoy episode 2, because I'm working on the script currently for that, and it's been interesting, but I have a lot of schoolwork, so it's gonna take a while. You could probably see that this isn't scripted, so it's just me pretty much chilling, saying what's ever on my mind. I think what was the hardest part of the episode to film was the deer hunting scene, because I was like, how am I supposed to do this? Because I've been trying my best not to show hands on my episodes anymore. So there's also other reason why the episode took so long, because I was trying to do that scene, I was just so done with it that I was redoing it 1,000 times. But during it was very fun to continue working on the ideas and how the scenes could happen in the future for the future episodes. Because there's a lot I do have planned for this series, but I'm also trying to make sure it's not a very long one, because the Walls That Holds Us In is supposed to be my long one, as it's a series that I had a lot of plans for, but I never was very good at finishing stuff at the time, but I'm making my goal to finish Siblings and then trying to do Walls That Holds Us In again. Because I love those characters, and I love the idea for it, because even though it came from just me putting a literal just cardboard paper around it, just because I had no idea to do backgrounds at the time. It just wasn't an idea I saw a lot around at the time, so it was very fun to play around with. But the thing is, I don't even have a backstory for why did they got in the wall. I just went with it. So that's why there has to be a lot of rewriting, because I had ideas of what I wanted the story to go, but not really. Here I want to direct it to actual story point, because the main thing is that you need a story. especially since I'm actually a hobbyist writer. So it was just annoying, and then when you go back and you see, oh yeah, I had no planned story for that, when I just love writing as a hobby. Now let's talk about designs, like background. The backgrounds, I feel like I can improve on from the episode. And I've been working on new backgrounds for episode 2 because there's going to be new places in episode 2. And I was like, oh yeah, I've improved already, so I'm glad about that. Hopefully you guys will love the backgrounds more than it was in episode 1. Episode 1 was like my first time really doing backgrounds. I never really draw backgrounds when I do draw, so it was interesting to just see what I'm doing. So hopefully you'll see improvement as time goes on. I want to be able to make backgrounds I can keep for walls that hold us in, since this place that will be in it in like episode 2 even will be still used in walls that hold us in. So I want to make backgrounds that I could still keep in time in the future, so I don't have to like redraw places again. The backgrounds were not even like part of the worst part of the problem. I think I should also be working on my camera angles. I think I moved the camera way too much than I should have. So you all had different lighting and stuff. So I don't want to I want to make the lighting in the same place, exactly the same in other clips. And also the intro, I feel like I could improve on making an intro. Especially since a friend of mine looked over it and said that I could do better, and I believe her that I could improve. So there's a lot of places I still feel like I can improve, but then again, this whole series is just me trying to improve on how I do episodes for when I go back to walls that hold us in, and also for me to develop some backstory for the wolves. I think so far my favorite character to start getting to know would probably be Rogue. Mainly because I know what I want for him. I won't say much, but he will be an interesting character that you guys will have to analyze very closely, because there's a lot of things going on with him, and I want you guys to see his motives for the things he does. There's a lot of motives, I'm thinking, because each character has their motives. They all have their own backstory. Why are they doing things? I think it's actually She-Wolf who I'm having the hardest time trying to understand what her motives will be. Because I want her to be different than her brother, because everybody's a different personality, but they also lived in the same place. So it's kind of what are the base personalities that make the character development go forward to be what I want in the end product. So that's what I'm having a lot of thought process over. Each character has some motives, so that's what I've been thinking in my head each time. I've been writing down what I want these characters to be like. I think a lot of characters I will talk about will be more interesting to actually start more discussing when we get episode 2 out, and I do the same thing I'm doing right now with them, because there's other characters that will be introduced in episode 2. So I wasn't kidding when I mentioned that I have character notes. I have a journal. I've been writing character notes, mainly of Rogue, which I wrote 2 whole pages about just him. As we see in episode 1, so going forward, Rogue is the more confident one, while she was kind of the more shy. Probably gonna make sure her brother doesn't do stupid things, but Rogue will convince her in the end. As we saw in episode 1, because Rogue made a stupid decision that got him to be blind in one eye. Which also will be interesting too as I'm writing, because I was like, oh, I have to make things that, because some of these things won't work out exactly as Rogue would hope in his own mind because of his eye. He literally won't be able to see on one of his eyes, so there's a lot of scenes where he probably will have things bump into stuff because he doesn't see what's going on that side of his vision, so he can also be easily ambushed. I think you could count part of this scene as foreshadowing. That's your one little hint for episode 2. I've really been loving doing these characters, so it's been just interesting to think about. Rain, don't get too used to her so much, because we're going to be going more into story, and Rain's never been more of a important character in my mind. So, anyway, we're getting now to bonus content.